Hey, what is going on, gamers? This is Doctorredstone signing in to another episode on the channel. Today's episode, a little belated video, definitely been quite the busy week thus far, but in today's episode we're going to be going over the last weekend's raid. Now it is going to be the end of Fire Month. We do have Guild War coming up this I think probably today actually, so the release of this video we're going to be having Guild War. Hopefully you guys already went ahead and grabbed the armor. I know we got a pretty chill weekend run over in Loke City as well as the Asylum, so big shout out to everybody over there in Android European. But without further ado, let's jump into these leaderboards. Alrighty gamers, and jumping on into this one, we're going to take a look at the very #1 server overall for the weekend. Surprise surprise, the iOS global servers. We got Touch Legacy coming at that numero uno spot with 92 billion points, freaking phenomenal. Stealth and Sins coming at that #2. KOT, big shout out to everybody in Keepers of Time coming in at that #3 spot. We got King's Dynasty at #4. Dumbledore Pizza Army, big shout out to those guys. We got Pranksters Gang, big shout out to all the homies over there. Pokemon Playhouse is 7. Aegis Bellatar at #8. Ruthless Battalion, big shout out to Cookie and absolutely everybody over there in RB coming at that #9 spot. And coming in at the #10 spot, we got Deadpool X-Force, so big shout out to each and every single one of those guys over there. I don't know how they do it, man. Every single weekend it seems like they definitely come up with these crazy scores. Jumping on into the top 5 raiders, here is the #1 top raider of the entire weekend. We got Time Force Red, big shout out to you for coming in at that #1 spot. We got 3.1 billion points. No records being shattered, but it's still pretty good to come in #1 spot. We got Yield at #2, Manty Boy coming in at #3, Astaroth coming in at #4, and Witwoa coming in at that #5 spot over on the iOS global servers. Jumping on over here to the iOS European servers, you guys can see numero uno Barbarians, big shout out to everybody over there. We got Steph's Beer House coming at that #2 spot yet again. Memory and Thought coming at that #3, definitely super duper close between 2, 3, and 4. We got Two Less Tuos coming at that #4 spot. We got 66, 60, and 57. I know I was watching these ones from a little bit of afar. Memory and Thought definitely was quite the push near the end on that one, so big shout out to those guys. We got The Church coming at that #5 spot. Death Squad at #6, Bandits at #7, Invictus coming in at #8, Dauntless at 9, and Dutch Helden 1 rounding out the top 10 over here on the iOS European server. Jumping on over here into the top 5 raiders, JXSC, I guess, is that the best way to pronounce that one? We got Falgi coming at that #2 spot. We got Shadow at #3, Ruben representing that BRB, big shout out to Barbarians, and we got Fanta rounding out the top 5 raiders. So 2.6 over here, a little bit away from that 3.1 billion points. Jumping on over here to the Android European server, I want to give a big shout out to everybody over in the ghetto. Was an absolutely phenomenal weekend. Definitely huge shout out to each and every single one of those guys. Triple W Warriors coming at that #1 spot with 61 billion points. We got Polska coming at that #2, British Legion at #3, so big shout out to those guys right there. The Nameless Order coming at #4, and BOP Family, take a look at that one, man. British Legion at 3, 42, Nameless Order 42, BOP Family 41. That was super freaking close all the way down to the wire. Jumping on down to us, we have the Ghetto coming at that #6 spot yet again. Huge shout out to absolutely everybody over in the guild. Big shout out to a bunch of these guys. You're gonna see a couple of them over on the leaderboards. We got Atopia coming at #7, 1812 at 8th place. White Wolves, big shout out to those guys, man. They're always on the boards. We got Spain rounding out the top 10. Jumping on over here to the top 5 raiders, we got Rocket Man. Huge shout out to the homie coming at that #1 spot over here on the Android European server. He went ahead and ran with us. We got Cox PL coming at that #2 spot. Dark Dragons, big shout out to you as well. We got Grumpy, big shout out to you, and Grim Mean rounding out the top 5 over here on the Android European server. last but most certainly not least, jumping on over here, and I want to give a huge shout out to the family, Loke City. You guys know exactly where we're at, especially on Android global servers. Legio Brazil coming at that #1 spot with 66 billion points. Super freaking close with the Android European. We got Unicorn Prospects at #2 and the Unseen Force coming at that #3 spot. Definitely a fight for the top 3. It definitely seems on all servers. Thanix Tick looks like coming at that #4 spot with 50 billion points, man. 1 billion points behind the Unseen Force, so definitely I'm sure that they were fighting to the end. The Bloody Roses as well coming at that #5 spot with 49.9 billion points. It's absolutely phenomenal to see a bunch of these guilds pushing and grinding. Coming on over here, we have Shield of Aegis coming at #6. Of course, a big shout out to all the homies over in Loke City, and of course you're gonna see those guys on the leaderboards as well. Unity coming at that #8 spot. Blood-Born Assassins at #9, and big shout out to the Terrible Bones rounding out the top 10. Jumping on into this one, big shout out to the homie Zeal. Good to see you up here on these leaderboards. We had 2.6 billion points on that one. Absolutely phenomenal. We got the homie Loke City Poppy coming at that #2 spot. Big shout out to the homie Loke City Reaper coming at that #3 spot. And of course, Loke City Papito coming in at that #4 spot. Big shout out to each and every single one of those guys. And we got Luffy. Good old Luffy down there at the bottom, #5 on the Android global servers. Definitely was a phenomenal weekend over with Loke City, as well as a phenomenal weekend over with the Ghetto. This coming weekend, starting today as the release of this video, I'm pretty sure Guild War is already going to be started. Big shout out to the Asylum as well as Loke City over on the Android global. You guys know exactly where we are going to be running. Hopefully you guys went ahead and grabbed the Fire armor, as this is the last weekend of the month. If you guys haven't done so, make sure and hit those milestones. We got 105, that's going to go ahead and get you one. I think 260 is for the second material, and then depending upon where you end for Guild War, you guys can grab 3, 2, or 1 of those pieces as well. So hopefully you guys already got it by this point. I know we already have the Fire. We did not go for the bling for this one on the global nor on the European account, just because I don't think that's the best armor to go ahead and grab. I know I really want to try and get the Spirit Plus on the global version. I don't know if we're going to go for the Spirit and the bling over on the European server. It definitely seems like we continuously go for the Spirit ones, and it doesn't seem to be paying off too much in the very end. I know that we got both of those ultimate armors, and to be honest with you, they definitely seem absolutely OP, because every single raid I'm using 2 of the ultimate armors and 1 other armor. Sometimes they're exclusive, sometimes they're raid boss plus. It just kind of depends. So, but definitely using both of the ultimate armors. So I'm not sure exactly how I feel the account's going to be exactly when we get 3 ultimate armors. It might just be taken over completely, where we're only using ultimate armors all of the time. Definitely not sure exactly how I feel about that, but we'll save those for another episode. If you guys enjoy it, please make sure to smash that like button. Definitely helps me out more than you know. If there's any videos that you guys want to see pertaining to Knights and Dragons, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. Definitely be happy to make those ones. I know we're working on a playlist, getting a whole bunch of things out there for you guys. Definitely tips, tricks, tutorials, everything like that. I'm excited for it. Hopefully you guys are as well. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and as always, this is Dr. Redstone signing out. Thanks, YouTube.